What is going on, guys? I am back with another review of a day at an amusement park, and today I will be discussing this visit I had this past Saturday to Knoebels Amusement Resort on Saturday, August 30th. And so, without further ado, let's just get started. So anyway, when I first got to Knoebels, I got my ride all day wristband like usual, and I could just tell it was gonna be a good day at Knoebels because it was so nice out. And and yeah, so and anyway, when I first got my ride all day wristband, I headed straight to Flying Turns to rope drop it because, yeah. So because of the success of being first train of the day on Flying Turns, and because then you don't have to worry about potential breakdowns or stuff if you decide to wait for it later, and so that's why, as a Knoebels regular, I always say, get your ride all day wristband when you arrive at the park, and always arrive early and get your ride all day wristband then, and rope drop Flying Turns before the park opens. You'll have a much more successful ride on Flying Turns if you start with it and arrive at the park early. And so and especially on this visit, it was successful getting first train of the day on Flying Turns. And yeah. So anyways, after Flying Turns, I headed over to Phoenix, which was a good ride on it. And then and the airtime's crazy on those bunny hills returning to the station. And then after that, I headed to Rocco Plain. Shout out goes to those ride ops. The one ride op recognized me, and because he already said he knows I know what I'm doing. And the other ride op, right after the ride cycle I had on Rocco Plain, offered me a re-ride, and I was like, heck yeah. And so so I got a re-ride on Rocco Plain. So shout out goes to those ride ops at Rocco Plain. And then after that, I headed over to Downdraft, which was a good ride on it. And then after Downdraft, I headed over to Stratosphere, I think it was at that point, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And Stratosphere is always a good drop tower, no matter what. And so anyways, after Stratosphere, I headed over to Twister, where I ran into Julia, and shout out goes to her and the whole entire crew, like Maggie. And yeah, so at the time I was entering Twister, Julia was going somewhere. I don't know where she was going, but yeah, and that's how I ran into her, as she was going to do something. I don't know what it was. And yeah, so after that, after Twister, after Twister, I headed over to Flyer for a ride on that. And then after Flyer, I headed over to Cosmotron for a ride in on that. And then after Cosmotron, I headed over to Paratrooper, I think it was. And then after Paratrooper, I headed over to Pizza for lunch. And their pizza slices never disappoint. Yeah. So anyways, after Pizza, I headed over to Grand Carousel, which was a decent ride on Grand Carousel. And then after Grand Carousel, I headed over to Italian Trapeze at that point. And then after Italian Trapeze, I headed over to Scenic Skyway. And then after Scenic Skyway, I headed to Impulse. And then after Impulse, I went to Crystal Pool for a short amount of time because it was the last weekend I could go in Crystal Pool because, it was Labor Day weekend. So yeah, and I had a good last little splash of the season in Crystal Pool. It felt good to lap Slidewinder and to get mad laps in on Slidewinder and go for a dip in the pool. and and I type enjoy going in Crystal Pool on some of my Knoebels visits. Not gonna lie, and yeah. So, anyways, after Crystal Pool, I headed for my usual stop in Stony Gables and got my chocolate Wurzel and my candy. I got the rainbow for my candy. I got the rainbow gummies, the blue raspberry licorice, and the watermelon licorice. And then after that, wait. Let me think. After Stony Gables. Oh yeah, I headed to Roto Jets. Part of me was thinking I got a rewrite on Cosmotron. Sorry about that. But after Stony Gables, I headed to Roto Jets, which was a decent ride on it. And then after Roto Jets, what did I do after Roto Jets? I headed to Paradrop, and then after Paradrop, which was my first time riding Paradrop since early June. And so anyway, after Paradrop, I ended up doing Giant Flume because I was originally gonna ride Black Diamond, but after all that waiting and already getting in the train, the ride op started getting a blue screen on the thing they used to dispatch the ride, and so Black Diamond had to go down, and just after I got in the train too, and that was an incredible disappointment. And when they told us to reline up at the Yellow Feet, I decided I originally decided I was gonna wait it out a bit, but then after some time, when the ride op started saying it might be 30 minutes out, and I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not dealing with that. So I just went and did Giant Flume there then, which shout out goes to that ride op at Giant Flume because she recognized my YouTube channel, and yeah. So if you guys ever run into me at Knoebels or any other park, please don't hesitate to say hi. And so yeah, shout out to that ride op at Giant Flume. And then after that, and after that ride on Giant Flume, I headed over to Phoenix Junction. And then after Phoenix Junction for dinner, I headed for a re-ride on Rockleplane at that point because wait. No. I did a re-ride on Phoenix. And so it was a great re-ride on Phoenix. And then after that re-ride on Phoenix, then I had a re-ride on Rockleplane. And then after that re-ride on Rockleplane, I headed to Downdraft. Shout out Lily at Downdraft today, by the way. And so after Downdraft, I got an evening ride on Tornado, which I actually got a pretty decent evening ride on Tornado. Like, I was able to get it spinning really fast today. And it felt like a little more like I was riding Howler at Hershey Park in the beginning. And so, anyway, after Tornado, I headed for a night ride on Stratosphere, which is such a good drop tower, like always. And so, and it's especially lit at night. And so, anyways, after that Elite Stratosphere night ride, I headed over to Twister. Shout out goes to Julia and the whole crew once again. Maggie said hi to me, so shout out goes to her, and especially because and shout out goes to the Twister crew in general because they're always pumping those trains out. And yeah, so anyway, because the line was really long when I got in line for Twister, because the end of summer crowds were coming in, and it was Labor Day weekend, so the park was pretty packed today in general. So like I said, the line for Twister was pretty long when I got in line for it. However, the crew was able to get it moving quickly by pumping out those trains. And so anyway, after that, even with one train ops on Twister, when I got that night ride on Twister remained on one train ops all day, while Phoenix ran two trains after my first ride on it. But anyway, Twister remained one train ops all day, but at least they were able to pump those trains out, and they're always able to pump those trains out no matter what. And so, which is what I like about Knoebels in general too. They have like good operations, and and this night ride on Twister, the operations was not an exception. Like, even though it was one train ops and the line was moving, and the line was like to the bottom of the queue hill when I got in, the Knoebels ride ops were able to pump out those trains like really efficiently. And so anyway, after Twister, I had a crazy experience riding Pioneer Train in pitch black in the summer. Like, even without the hollow fun aspect of it, like you get if you ride Haunted Pioneer Train at night during Knoebels hollow fun nights. And it was still a good night ride on Pioneer Train. Like, the experience of riding Pioneer Train at night is crazy compared to riding it during the day. And I like the overlay of Pioneer Train they do for Halloween, but riding it at night during summer is like next level, like when it's pitch black. And so anyway, after that crazy pitch black night ride on Pioneer Train I had in the summer, that pretty much concluded my day at Knoebels. So that concludes this review of this 14th visit to Knoebels Amusement Resort for the season. Shout out goes to every ride op who recognized me today. And shout out goes to the Knoebels staff in general for another awesome day like always. And yeah, so with that being said, make sure to reply to me your thoughts on this video. And make sure to go check out my merch store on YouTube Shopping. There should be several products tagged in at least my recent videos, if not all my videos. And make sure to subscribe if you're new and turn on post notifications so you will not miss when I upload a new video. And another thing is, I now do memberships. So here's how it works. The yellow level is only $2.99 a month, and can give you like, you know, the benefits of royalty-free badges, images, members only shorts, and early access to new videos. But there's also a green level, which is only $5.99 a month and can give you all the benefits of the yellow level plus a member shout out. So if you are wanting to become a member of Coaster Plus Music 19, why not do so? Why the wait? Become one today. And I will see you in the next.